It's the day before Christmas, and I've had this I keep calling it what do they call it? Fruitcake, but
It's not. It's
hello.
totally it's totally different.
It's totally different.
It's a Christmas pudding.
There you go.
Yay.
So, here, and we made this a year ago. It's just been sitting on my counter mocking me, and the main reason it sits on my counter so I wouldn't forget to once a month give it a little sip of alcohol. And I actually made it through a whole bottle of sherry, and I had to buy another one a month ago. Um, just give it a little sip. And so here's what it looks like. It's
Lovely.
lots and lots of fruits and nuts. And oh my God, I just got a whiff of it. I just instantly became drunk. Um, but I mean, the thing is the alcohol itself evaporates. So you're
Mhm.
just getting the flavor, correct? Or am I full of it?
Yeah, the alcohol's evaporated.
Yeah, it
So
evaporates.
I don't have to add any alcohol now because we're gonna eat it soon. But
Yeah, so the next step in this is to just looking at is to steam it.
okay,
And so you could either steam it in a pan,
just use this pan and put it in a.
put it in another pan, keep it you're always going to make sure that there's water in the pan. So what you'll do is you'll cover it with a new sheet of wax paper. But when you
I did
yeah,
replace
yeah,
this like a couple times. I mean,
yeah,
it looks pretty
exactly.
fast, but
So you'll cover it again and probably put a layer of foil on top. And
so I've
yeah, and it
someone
pardon?
from England sent me a can of spotted dick.
Hmm.
Is this similar type of pudding?
It's a steam pudding. It's a different type.
Yeah. Well,
It's a spotted dick is a sponge pudding.
okay, but that was in a
Yep.
can, and I had to open the can and boil it like you're saying.
Yep. Yep, exactly. So we'll take this and we'll put it in the pressure cooker, cover it with a layer of parchment and then a layer of aluminum foil.
But it was originally cooked a year ago. We baked it in the oven,
Mhm.
and now we're going to steam it again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then you're going to steam it for about 3 to 5 hours.
okay.
Wow.
So,
And and then I've got some notes here that say, or a half an hour in a pressure cooker, followed by a half an hour at 15 pounds of pressure.
got it. Is this
So I'd have to get mine. So
like a
if I, if,
traditional recipe of your family?
um, the sort of, we don't have my grandmother's because she never told anyone what the recipe was.
Okay.
So we've cobbled it together from other recipes. But yeah, I know. Yeah, you're supposed to just heat it up to 15 pounds of pressure and then hold it at 15 pounds of pressure for 15 minutes
Okay.
or a half an hour. I mean, half an hour.
Now, an interesting
So,
thing on today's cooking show, we had a chef that
mm,
we made Sri Lankan milk toffee, and we mentioned that we're making this. And what do you have there? You call it
Yeah,
Christmas cake or what?
yes, it's a Christmas cake. Like in Sri Lanka, we are Buddhist. We don't like really make it in back home, but our Catholic and Christian friends, they make it during the season and they usually give us like the wrapped cake of like the piece of cakes for everybody to share the joy. So in here, I noticed like we can't buy a similar cake from the store. So then I started baking. And this is my third time baking at home. Our boys love it, and every Christmas they say, let's make Christmas cake. It's the same idea. So we buy like the bunch of like the fruits like cherries and fruit cake mix in the store here, and then cashew nuts. So I
Yeah, I
cut.
don't remember. I remember there was currants and raisins and nuts Yeah.
dates, yes. And
Yeah, I
then
mean, we baked this one a year ago, so
yes, I cut this like last Saturday and added a bunch of spices and rose syrup and alcohol. And then it says like longer you keep it, you can keep it for 3 months, like a week, or depending on, when you started. It tastes better and turns out better. So
it's
my
very interesting. Like the English tradition and Sri Lankan tradition must English must have passed the tradition into the Sri Lankan some because this is very similar.
yes, our next step for this is like today I'm gonna bake it. For baking, we add like semolina. What
It,
is it called?
isn't semolina like a pasta?
No, it's like the
Semolina flour.
I think it's I use like the cream of wheat.
Oh, okay.
What do you call it? Like the
Yeah, cream of wheat.
yes. So you roast it a little bit and then you like the get egg yolks, egg whites, and sugar. So you beat it as your cake and mix all these fruits and bake for like, I think I have to bake it for maybe 2 hours. And
So
then
it's
once you bake it, you can like you add an icing on top of it, which is called marzipan icing. For
Suzanne, this is so interesting. This is like the fast track version of your Christmas pudding.
yes, Christmas cake. Yes. So I mean, you can add it icing or you can't. You don't have to. So how you want it to. So like in back home, the other interesting thing is I think it's the same for weddings. At the end of the wedding, every participants get a piece of the same cake wrapped in like the fancy, like the colorful wrappings. Yes.
So, all right.
Yes. Very.
Suzanne, anything else you want to say? Otherwise, I'll try to get the recipe and steam this pudding to
Yeah.
sometime this week because I have too much to do on Christmas. So I'll have to wait another week probably to eat this because
I think your microphone is on mute. So
That's why nobody hears me. I thought about that. I'm like, wait a second. So one thing we do is once it's steamed, you flip it upside down on a pan and you open it up, and then it's all nice and steamy, and then you put some more rum or brandy on it, turn
okay.
down the lights, and then light it on fire. So, and
it's a Christmas candle.
It's just burning the alcohol off. And then when you serve it, you'll serve it in big chunks, and you'll eat it with, you could either have rum butter, which is just some rum mixed in butter, or brandy butter. And then sugar added, powdered sugar, brandy, and butter. And then or you can also add some custard. So I love lots of custard with it. It's really good.
So it's interesting. The Sri Lankan tradition, they've kind of blended. Remember, we made the Christmas cake and the Christmas pudding, and they've kind of blended it together to create Sri Lankan Christmas cake.
It sounds like the Sri Lankan one is almost like a Christmas cake, but it's like all variations of the same thing.
Yeah, I like it.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, just like
Lots of fun.
food traditions. Thank you very much for sharing your food tradition. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to eat this. I mean, it looks pretty oh, never mind. I smelled it. It smells still pretty good. It's been sitting on my counter for a year, so. But I mean, I've had fruitcake before that, it's like all the different candied fruits in there, and I'm not one of those ones who don't like it. There's a lot of jokes about fruitcake, but
it can be okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you very much for sharing your very similar but different Christmas food traditions.
Very interesting. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.